And Phil Foden too is a fraud. That one too is false.
Fraud.
Let's
The
not
fact that they ever
forget that
compared
one.
him to my darling boy Kopama is
It's my darling boy Bukayo Saka.
Charlie. Can you imagine?
Sulia.
All right, live from the Etihad. This is
Sulia.
the best football podcast in the world. Right here, it's Selwyn Saki. On my right is
Zuu the God.
and
Farid, aka
I like that
Santa
Farid.
Claus.
Farid.
Yes,
The Arabian Santa Claus.
Yes. That's what I wanted. Because you are talking about one of the Arabian clubs, Manchester City. What's going on?
Manchester City.
What's going on? What's
Charlie?
going on? Tell us.
Beans-
Pep is
beans-
killing himself. He said he wants to harm himself.
Pep is tearing his face, Charlie, as if he's been fighting with somebody. Charlie, they said somebody was beating him in the locker room, and that's why his face is all scratched up. After the
It's
match,
crazy
Charlie,
because during the Champions League match against Feyenoord, and they kept obviously because they were dropping a lead, they kept showing him. I was like, what's wrong with this guy's face? Like, what's happening? And that was the last thing I expected. I thought maybe his cats attacked him or something. Like, I didn't expect him to say that he's the one who scratched
descended into madness
himself. I was like, yo,
But
that's
can you blame him?
Yes,
Your
I
team
can
is
blame
leading
him.
3-0 in the 71st minute.
No, but
Chris, you
bro.
think should have done the same thing in the Mozambique match, Charlie?
Oh, Charlie.
But yeah, what's actually happened? Because me, I have no idea. We all know who Pep Guardiola is. So I'm also as surprised as everyone as a fan right now. I don't know what's going on. How is Pep losing 5 games in a row?
It's crazy.
Because he seems to have the answers to everything in football.
Usually.
He changed football. Exactly. He changed football. When people say, this team doesn't have a plan, a style of play, we all know what they are talking about.
Yeah.
They want you to play like Pep Guardiola. So
But I mean, I guess it's telling, right, that Pep didn't hit the ground running at City. I mean, if we are being very honest,
yes.
people seem to forget that his first season was
Disaster.
actually a bit of a write-off. And he didn't blame the players, but by virtue of the fact that the next season, he literally signed pretty much a whole new first 11, he kind of blamed the players. And I feel like that's Pep to a T, right? He needs the best team to be able to execute his mad philosophy, right? He's a genius, but he's not a one-man show. And I feel like the undoing of Pep this season has been, I'd say, in my opinion, a slight arrogance that he could keep doing it time and time again without necessarily refreshing the squad. And Charlie, the squad make beans. That's long and short. The squad make beans, Charlie. There many players you can name from Ederson to a Kominini Haaland. All of them, Charlie.
So it's more of the playing body.
The playing body. Now what can Pep do? I mean, I keep referencing this documentary. I mean, they released the clip. I don't know if it's the fourth has come out, but Charlie, your man is screaming at them, trying to motivate them. Charlie, I mean, tactics are tactics. We've seen, I know we are not like football coaches and we don't know like it, but every coach who sits in a Premier League dugout is a master tactician. If you can motivate the players, Charlie, they'll do some things. No, how can Pep coach Walker to be beaten for pace by Timo Werner or by Adama Traore? Yeah, so Charlie.
Zuu, what's the issue?
Well, let me quickly run through the stats. So they've lost 6 out of their 7 last games, and the one that they didn't lose, they drew after leading 3-0.
That's more like a loss, isn't it? Mentally.
Yeah, feels like a loss. So they've had, since the 30th of October, they haven't won a game. No, since the 26th of October, that was the last game
That's
they
a
won.
long time.
And
And that
those
was
games,
1-0
Charlie.
against Southampton.
You see,
So
And it's Southampton.
Southampton, yes, bottom of the league, Southampton. So, what's wrong? Honestly, I think it's so many different things. I agree with Farid to an extent, but then I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think the number one problem is that the Ballon d'Or winner is injured.
Charlie.
For me, that's the number one problem.
Killer.
Because I think, let me explain why. Because Rodri has been an he doesn't get injured. He rarely gets suspended. And when he gets suspended, they don't win. Like in the last 2 seasons, when Rodri's not there, City don't win. Like he had was almost 50 game run of not losing while he was playing for City. So his quality is evident. His impact on the team is evidence. We've seen it. Now, suddenly Rodri gets hurt and City start losing. And even before they started losing, they did win a few games before he got injured. But after he got injured, they won a few games before they've gone on this run. But even the ones that they won, if you remember, they had to get some last minute winners. Like John Stones had the last minute winner. They only beat Southampton 1-0. There was Adama Traore forgot how to shoot in when they played Fulham. There's so many games that they should have lost, but they just they did the Man City thing and they just like edged themselves over the line. But now that magic is finished. So I think Rodri's absence is one of the key issues. They have not been able to replace him. They can't seem to play without him. And honestly, he's the type of player that you can't replace. The second thing for me too is the departures. There were certain players that departed in the summer that they've not replaced. And I think that goes back to the arrogance that you were speaking about. It's like Julian Alvarez, he wasn't like the main guy, but when Haaland wasn't there, he was, or when Haaland doesn't produce in a game, Alvarez will score some 1 or 2 and take them over the line. De Bruyne is injured. He's in the last 3, it's not a secret, in the last 3 seasons, he keeps getting injured. Why won't you sign somebody to be there when he's not there? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Alvarez is not being replaced. De Bruyne not being replaced. Walker not being replaced. Because to me, it's been clear. I've been saying this on this show. Even at England, he's one of the main reasons why England didn't win the Euros. So, honestly, man, so many problems, so many issues. And injuries too. And Phil Foden too is a fraud. That one too is fast.
Fraud.
Let's
the
not
fact that they ever
forget that
compared
one.
him to my darling boy Kopama
It's my darling boy Bukayo Saka.
Charlie, can you imagine?
Yeah.
But can you blame Rodri for the fact that Haaland is not scoring goals? I mean, I feel like it's a bit of a cop-out. Teams have lost Ballon d'Or winners before. I mean, Charlie, this is one man, one player, a whole City 11. I think that one player
but one player, if we take Kopama out of Chelsea right now, you will play very differently.
But we'll win.
Are you sure?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
We'll win. We'll win some. We'll lose 6 in a row.
I can give you some examples. Just, you know lose 6 in a row, but your football changed. Just Arsenal this season.
Yeah.
When Odegaard was gone. Arsenal, they couldn't even play. They couldn't create anything. But come back, suddenly they're playing well. No, we didn't lose 6 in a row, but you get what I'm saying. But clearly, City's thing too is like he said, a motivation thing. Like, you see, football it's momentum.
Yeah.
If momentum goes in 2 directions, there's positive momentum, negative momentum. This is clearly negative momentum.
Yeah.
They know that they are good, but it's just when you start losing, you can lose.
You know what's underrated about Rodri? He's actually leader of the team.
Yes,
like
that's another thing.
Without the armband, you can see that sometimes he's the one like actually orchestrating stuff.
You see him like directing people. Go here. And De Bruyne too does that, but De Bruyne is not available.
Yeah,
he's always injured. Now he only plays 1 half per game. So I don't know, man. The problems are big. Like Rodri not being there, they have to play. Kovacic is injured. Kovacic, Matheus Nunes, like the drop off is insane. And so,
but I mean, sorry to hijack the hosting.
No worries.
But let's talk about something. Can we talk about Pep Guardiola for a second? I mean, we'll talk about the players.
Let's do that.
Is he a fraud? People have been saying behind the camera that your man is a fraud. No. Before I let you answer, right? He, first of all, we compare him to the greats who historically have not lost 6 in a row ever in history. But somehow he's the greatest ever manager. He's also come out and blaming his current side's predicament on injuries. Whereas we've seen teams like Arsenal, teams like United, teams like Liverpool, teams like Chelsea. In fact, all of us have gone through severe injury cry. I mean, last season, I think Chelsea had like 10 players out and nobody gave us any sympathy. They were telling us that Pochettino is a fraud. And people were saying Klopp is done, his time is over because he can't rejuvenate Liverpool side, with so many injuries. I mean, remember they played the FA Cup final with the Academy boys. United, Ten Hag didn't get any joy whatsoever, despite the consensus that Ten Hag is a fraud. And yet Pep all of a sudden is saying that we should allow for him because he's won 6 in a row, but he's facing injuries. As if he didn't have, and sorry, I know this sounds biased, but I'll give you a chance to respond. As if he didn't have some of the best young players in the league, right? He let Kopama go. He has Rico Lewis, who's a pretty good player, Oscar Bob, who's a pretty good player, and some academy boys that he could bring in and actually do a job maybe better than the likes of Walker and the likes of Guardiola. So, what do you think? Is your man a big bald fraud?
So behind the camera, they're saying that Pep always has the tools. He always has the players that he needs. And honestly, in this life, when you're good, things will be given to you. That's just what it is. Like when he came from the beginning from Barcelona, he was clear. Even before he started coaching the first team, everybody knew that this guy is different. When you're good, why is he? He's not going to. What's he going to do at Everton or at? I don't even know. Like there's no need for him to go to those places because he's a serial winner. He's always going to go to the best clubs, and the best clubs spend the most money. So anything he needs, they'll give it to him. That's just the way it works. So now what's happening is, I think it's fatigue. There's fatigue that comes with winning. When you win too much. Yeah, it's like mental fatigue, physical fatigue. We've spoken about the injuries. Yes, everybody has had injuries, but I think there's levels to injuries. There's injuries to key players. Foden too is mentally injured. That's another one too. So we get different kinds of injuries. Like,
but you know something, the greatest have always been able to do. I mean, we always compare him. People are comparing him to Pep.
Let's not even forget the season is not over. They are still in the Champions League.
This is obviously premature and obviously hyperbolic, and he could literally come and win the league, and we'll be like, hey.
So if let's say they end the season, let's say they finish fourth, they win the FA Cup.
Oh, Massa, failure. We will not forget 6 losses ago. We will never forget.
I don't
his
think that's
face
a
all
failure.
scratched up, his nose bleeding, and him saying that he wants something. What kind of nonsense is that?
I don't think that's a failure.
We are comparing him to the greats, right? We're comparing him to Sir Alex.
But Sir Alex had some 1 or 2 years where he didn't reach.
Some people also say that Pep met Sir Alex in the final twice in the European big stage.
No problem.
He killed him
because he had the better tools. He had the better tools.
You will not take this at all. We will not take. Charlie, you're not a part of the episode. Stop talking. He didn't even have Ronaldinho. He had Rooney.
Relax. I won't take that one because they both got to the final with their team.
Yeah.
So when you get there, it's about who can win today.
Exactly. And lots of other people have had Messi. Lots of other coaches had Messi, and they were not able to beat certain coaches or win the league or win the Champions League.
But some have been able to do it.
Yes, but they never did it to Pep's level.
But you see, Pep has good players. You can't tell me that his tools. He has good players now. Why is he not winning?
Everybody right now in football, everybody has good players. Let's be honest.
So why is he not winning?
Everybody has. We just spoke about Manchester United in the previous episode. Manchester United actually have good players.
Some of them are good. United don't have good players.
No, they actually have good players.
They don't have good players.
Oh, come on. Bruno is good. Ahmad is good. Their defense, they have some good defenders. Lisandro, Onana is a good keeper. They have good, but suddenly they changed the coach and it's looking better. Chelsea have very good players. But
Chelsea have always had good
we've
players.
had good players for like 4 seasons.
Chelsea.
But some 1 or 2 players, some 1 or 2 coaches have not been able to make it work. But suddenly somebody has come and is working. So as for good players, everybody has good players. But not everybody's able to.
Unai Emery doesn't have good players.
Oh, he has.
And he's doing it with Villa.
Oh, come on. If I give you Morgan
Can
Rodgers,
Pep take Villa to the Champions League?
Yes.
Let's see it happen. He has the same. I'll take man for man right now. Guardiola's squad is better. And are you telling me that when they meet man for man, are you saying that he can beat Unai Emery's side?
With the current
yes.
injuries?
It doesn't matter. Man for man. If we are comparing Morgan Rodgers to Foden, if we are comparing Oli Watkins to Erling Haaland, are you saying that Villa even stand a chance man for man? Konza to D. I mean, you can't say that.
And yet somehow, man for man, yes, but
and yet somehow,
no, but you see, no.
You know, it will be a close match. Why is that the case?
Football is about fit. It's about balance.
Hey.
If you take out if you take somebody out, you may have to change the whole way you play.
You have to do it time and time again. That's a great manager does it consistently. He builds a dynasty.
It's been just a few games as well. Let's also go back to that. Yes,
in a row.
But he still has to find a way to.
It's crazy. That's what I'm saying. That like, even if he comes back and wins the league, we will not forget the fact that that record will be red. No problem. That's an indictment on the rest of us, in the league, which is always the case. Like people say that the Premier League is a farmers league. Charlie Loki is a farmers league because Pep goes to Europe. He's only won 1 in how many years? He's not been this all-dominating. The Premier League, the quality has been
a bit bad. He's won one, but he's always at the business end still.
It doesn't matter. The business end, Chelsea used to be at the business end long ago. Yeah, I mean...
No. In the last 3 years, in the Champions League, or let's say even the last 4 years, they lost to City. Chelsea
the last 3 years. Let's
start from there. Lost to Chelsea in the final.
Yes.
The season after, I think aside from that, they've reached a semi-final
in the last 4 years.
Even last year, they lost on penalties, which is no problem. So they are there. They are there where they need to be. But sometimes just that, like football, Charlie, luck of the drawing things, So honestly, I'm not too worried. It's Pep Guardiola. He's been doing this for how many years? Last time we did some calculations.
Since
16 years.
2008.
2008, 16 years. Yes. At the highest level. And this is the first time. The first time in 16 years where everybody's like, hey, what's going on?
Let's see. But I feel like he's always had it his way. That's a mark. I mean, again,
He
like
hasn't always had it his
he's
way.
always had it his way. Man,
Hey.
for the longest time, he's always had it his way.
Yes, that's how you know that he's. That's how you know that he's a real G.
Zach Deco, Eto, Ronaldinho.
People have navigated. I mean, my thing is this, right? I mean, personally, right, like, this is a little bit off topic, right? But I feel like Klopp, with the tools Klopp had and what Klopp had to overcome, right? Klopp arguably has performed better in the period of time that he's been there. Pep has never
It's
really
not
had
true, it's not
to
true.
battle.
It's not true. But he battled with Liverpool. He battled with Arsenal.
I mean, like, battle with the odds against him, you know. Like, this is the first time he's actually struggling.
But how many times has City come from behind and they win 13, 14, 15 games in a row?
Arsenal just bottles on 2 games.
So what about Liverpool? They did to
Liverpool do
Liverpool.
bottles on 1 or 2 and then Charlie do just say no, they bottles on 1 or 2 and then they just go.
Hey, this
But I feel that
Guardiola
Liverpool
revision
time was a
in
big
the-
challenge, you know.
Yeah, it was a huge. That's his biggest challenge in his
It
career.
It was a challenge, but
his-
like the season that Liverpool won it, we saw how Pep, I don't know, whenever Pep meets a challenge, then he tucks his tail between his legs and then just
What?
The Lyon match that he overthinking. Look,
Once in a
remember
while,
the
he
season
does
Liverpool won
that.
the Premier League. Pep went on a similar, it wasn't this bad, but it was similar one where it's like, Charlie, City just trailed off. Now, even Lampard's Chelsea fan beat them. And then he just comes
No, but
back
you
with
see, that's the thing.
some
You see,
signings.
Was that the season? Ole was second, right?
Yeah, only was second. You can
No,
people
no,
forget.
no, no, no,
Conveniently,
no.
people forget that
That's
Charlie.
why I
Oh,
will
yeah.
not take it. I will not take it
You take
because
that thing.
nobody. No, just show me one coach that every single year he wins.
If you give
It's not
Lampard
possible.
this team, you win.
Lampard.
Lampard will win with this City
That's
team.
true.
Let's be serious. Let's be serious here. Let's be very serious. But yeah, basically, football is about errors. About Ten Hag said it too. When he said this, we were laughing at him.
The era is
errors
over.
come to end.
But
Errors
he-
come to
Fair,
end.
you said they might still win the Premier League. Like low key, they are
It's not-
still
yeah,
they are
it's-
still in
they're
the race.
still
Like
there, like,
they are
it's
not that
not
far
over.
off. They are not that far off. Haaland is
Yeah,
still the
it's
top
not over.
scorer. Just
Honestly,
a few
if
tweaks
let's
and
say
they might
De
actually be back
Bruyne
in
can
it.
suddenly magically stay fit, bro, they will
And then
come back with
Liverpool
a
go on some
vengeance.
losing run
honestly.
like Charlie.
Anything can happen.
Eventually, Liverpool are the standard bearers now. I mean,
But yeah,
everybody else is saying.
so Pep has faced adversity before. That's what, like you said, with Liverpool. Those Liverpool seasons, like he had to get 99 points and 98 points to win the league. When the record, which is also a record he holds, is 100 points. So
And the season that Liverpool beat them in the Champions League, the one
Yeah.
outfield, the first have like 3 or 4 goals. I think that one too. But that one, Liverpool succeeded more in the Champions League than in the league.
The Premier League, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, if you look, the top 3 highest points in the history of the Premier League is Pep has them 100, 99, 98.
We are Farmers League, that's all. In Farmers League, anyone can score.
So why should anybody? Why is
we
it
are
no one
we
else?
are farmers. We are farmers.
Why isn't everyone else
City,
doing it?
City are the kings. We are the farmers. That's
So, guys, what's City's next game?
City are facing Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest,
Difficult
yes.
one. Zuu, talk about that game for us.
Oh,
I know Nottingham Forest are your boys.
I think this one, there, City. This is the match that
This is
they
the
will
bounce back,
This is
yeah.
a bounce
Forest,
back. After that, they have Palace and
and then
Juventus,
Juventus.
and then the
United.
Manchester derby. So it's an interesting next few games for Man City. I expect them to use Forest to bounce back. But although, let's not even.
Yeah,
we can't.
Forest
Forest are not
slouches.
pushovers.
Yeah.
But
because-
even in the Liverpool game, I feel like they had some good moments, like some good
They
passing.
have some
Yeah,
good
they
moments.
have
Even the
some one or
Tottenham
two,
game,
yeah.
before Tottenham scored, they were getting
They
a
were
few.
getting a little chance, yeah.
They're
So
not out of
honestly,
it.
and even the final game, like I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
like,
after that game, I don't understand.
I don't know what happened. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, you can see that they are good players. They are not suddenly trash. They just need to, I don't know, need to sit down, have some meeting, talk to themselves and say that, yo, it's enough.
Let's bench Walker.
Let's just, yes, actually. Walker has to sit down.
And who replaces him?
That's the problem.
Put
Who
Rico
replaces
Lewis
that?
there.
Let's go and bring these small.
Because
No, but Lewis-
Rico Lewis is supposed to be the man to play the right back, but he ends up being in the midfield.
Because if you put Lewis, Kovacic is injured. You see, the injuries are actually a thing. Like, Lewis has to play midfield because there's nobody else to play that
Right.
midfield role. Because you're not going to put Gordon Pussy. What's that
They
guy's
should put
name?
him inside. Let's see the Pep.
Those
Pep
kiddies.
Pep should coach
O'Reilly
him.
and, you know,
O'Reilly, yeah,
Pep
you
should
can't
coach
play
him.
some of
Pep
those
should
guys.
coach him. Let's see.
No, they are not ready. Like
Now,
the
Cole
way,
Palmer was he ready before
the
he was
way-
thrust inside?
no, that's the thing. Like Palmer came into a team that was now figuring themselves out. City, they already have a way they play. You can't, like, the rules, the things you have to remember alone.
Yeah, actually, yeah, fair enough.
Bro,
Actually,
it takes forever. Hey, bro, you have to remember so much. You can't just put a kid in there.
where you're supposed to stand,
Where you're supposed to stand,
how you're supposed to position your
don't
body.
pass like
Nah,
this, bro. It's very calculated, so it takes time to get to that level
That's
to
true,
just
that's true.
drop somebody in. And if you every time they play the kiddies, you can see the difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that they're bad players, but they are just not. They don't have the system at their fingertips yet, so it takes time.
But this
so.
is the time we should see the Pep magic.
Oh, it's coming.
He's done it before, to be fair. Like, he's done some crazy stuff where you see
Yeah.
John Stones in midfield.
Yeah, Stones too is. I think
he's
he's
also
injured.
injured.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, so
Oh, Massa.
when he's saying injuries, like he has a point. He has a point.
Yeah,
It's like
yes.
everybody has injuries, but there are some players that when they're
when did
injured,
Kovacic get his injury?
I don't even
Was
know.
it before all this loss? Because I remember
It
that
was-
time
yeah,
Kovacic
it
was on
was-
form.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, he was
inside,
on
yeah.
form exactly. Yeah,
But he played some of the matches. I think some of them too have been rushed. Walker like this, I know he was injured before one of the matches, and they rushed him back, and then he had an absolute.
So right now
nightmare.
the injuries are Stones, Kovacic, Rodri, Bob. But
That was not that much.
yes, but that's what I'm saying. It's a certain
It's key
players that
injuries
you
there.
can't replace them. Like, well, if John Stones is injured, who will play? I don't know anybody else.
Mateo Nunez, we should play
Centre
midfield.
back.
Centre back John Stones.
I mean, Diaz
they have
is there.
Badio, they have Diaz.
Okay,
Akanji.
They have
Doku
Ake,
just came
Akanji
back.
can play.
Yeah, Doku just came back.
Won't buy this injury list, Masa. They have
No,
strength in depth.
no.
should
Yes,
stop
they
this
do,
thing.
but there are some play. I don't know, man. Like Bob was supposed to be playing more,
Yeah,
but he's,
Bob,
but he's
Bob
coming
is
in
one person they
January.
missed. Yeah.
He's coming.
Oh!
He's coming in January, so hopefully he'll be back soon.
Because I remember preseason he played the match against Chelsea. Charlie,
Yeah, he's a
had
really
an
good- he's a really
absolute,
good player.
Blinder.
Yeah, so
That
let's
was
see what
seven.
happens in the next few games.
This could be the turning point of City season or the end. We will see.
14,
We will see.
It's
No
not
worries.
the end at all.
I mean, a few losses more. No worries. This is a very competitive Premier League
I
season.
mean, yeah,
Chelsea are good.
we are coming into December. This is the
Yeah, this is the crunch period. And if you're
one of the
missing some,
difficult periods. So
you're
let's
missing some
see.
periods. Chelsea are getting good points. Liverpool are getting good points. Arsenal are getting good points. Very well. You could very well see City out of the title race by the end of December. But let's see. Let's see how it goes.
All right.
Yes, so my guys told us the problems at Manchester City. We'll see if they can find a solution. Pep, listen to my people.
Yes, we know.
They're advising
Charlie.
you.
Pep, we love you.
Arabian Santa Claus. I will come for your job. If you fool, I'll fire you. For make
I
steady.
was about to say that if you take your thing off, you actually look like Amorim small. So that's true. Farid looks like
Arabian
Amorim.
Amorim.
Yes, we have an Amorim here. So guys, that was the episode on Manchester City. Getting out of Etihad. We are signing out as
Sulia.
Yeah.
Sulia